A watch homage to a whale, the southern right whale, you say? That's a first, and it's very good. Today I'm going to take a look at the Duzu DW-D3 in Arctic White. I love it. Welcome to the Watchful Magpie channel. I called it that as I'm also attracted to shiny things just like a magpie, and in this case it's watches. My name's Gideon and I'll be taking a look at the Duzu DW-D3 today, which I only recently discovered. I can't remember how I found it, but I'm really glad I did. It's spectacular. I hadn't really heard of Duzu before, and they describe themselves on their website as a Western Australian watch brand, and they believe that everybody should be able to afford amazing watches. They have a strong focus on quality and customer service, and the dive watches are used to promote the rugged natural beauty of the Australian ocean and coastline, which I have yet to see. So if you fancy inviting me over there, I'm happy to come. I got the Antarctica DW-D3 recently, and I couldn't believe it arrived in the UK from Oz in just 3 days, and I think it looks fantastic. We'll take a closer look in a minute. There are 3 versions: the Australis, which is a blue version, the Black Oceania one as well, all of them limited edition and produced in different quantities. So let's dive in and check it out, starting with the price and the spec. It's a limited edition run of 150 pieces, but I think that's dependent upon what colour that you choose, and still in stock as of April the 17th, 24, and at a price of $549 excluding import taxes and charges and all the rest of it. I think it represents good value. For me in the UK, I kind of translate that as £549 because we get charged VAT tax and also duty on top, which is basically translate it from US dollars to pounds and then add around about 23%, and you're not far off. There are 3 variants, as I mentioned. There's the bright white one I've got, there's the black, blue, and that's it. There's just 3 variants in this particular one. The dimensions, really interesting. It's 42mm wide and from lug to lug. In other words, it's a fairly square type of watch. It's 3.25mm thick, and the strap is a 22mm strap, so no real surprises there on a 42mm watch. The dial is a matte crisp white in this one. It's finished in 316L stainless steel, so you know it's going to be hard wearing, and it's brushed or bead blasted. The crown is screw down, always good to know, with loomed inserts, which makes a little bit of a difference. The only other place I've really witnessed that has been on my favourite Zealous watches, which just do it all the time. Really beautiful thing to do. The bezel function is 120 click. It's internal, so it's bidirectional and can be accessed by the top crown that you see on the right hand side. The lume is Swiss Super Luminova, luminescence pigments, so it gives it slightly different shade, but it lasts a decent amount of time. The crystal itself is domed sapphire with anti-reflective coating, which I always like to see in a watch. The water resistance, a little bit different to your average microbrand here, in that it's 300 meters, which is a fantastic rating, and the movement is a very reliable Miyota 9039 caliber. Let's take a closer look and find out a little bit more about it when you see it up close. So when we take a closer look at the case, you can see there's quite a lot involved and quite a lot of detail that's on the back, which is lovely. Always lovely to see an interesting case back. The sides look sandblasted, and those represent the baleen gills that you see on the whale, if that's the right word. You see there's both sides, and you can see that detail on those loomed crowns. Really beautiful finishing on this. I'm very impressed. And as you may have noticed on the strap, we've got quick release pins, which makes life very easy indeed for changing the strap. If we take it around the other side, you see those lugs are actually quite short. They kind of bring down, so even though the 42mm is there, it doesn't protrude in a big way and fits the wrist very nicely. I think the style is quite incredible. As we've seen, the fluke at the top there is what we talked about earlier. There's a lot of detail in here, and it just is very striking, super legible, what I really want to see. These are both screw down, so we can play with the internal bezel by unscrewing it, and then we can move that around to be whatever position we want, because it is, after all, a dive watch. So very easy to set, absolutely gorgeous, and highly legible. The entire watch has been designed with the southern right whale and its migration route from New Zealand to Antarctica in mind. That includes this beautifully sculpted and beveled case with baleen engraving, the hour and the minute hands mimicking the whale's jawbone, the BGW9 loom depicting the markings on the whale's head, and the glow reflective of the Indian and Southern Oceans. The matte dial finishes representing the skin tone, and the lugs emulating the shape and the form of the whale's flippers. The whale tail insignia on the inner bezel and matching adjusting crown, loomed crown inserts, representative of the eyes, and the exaggerated circular markers depicting the blowhole. Could be a little bit overdone, you'd think, but actually it kind of works out as a design. Collectively, these elements combine to create a unique design and one that's truly original, and it all hangs together really well. Probably because someone really cares about what they're producing. So let's check it out on the time grapher and test that sapphire glass. So how's it going to fare on the time grapher? Let's just take a look. Well, I've let it run for a little while. We can see that it's running plus 11 seconds a day, so very good indeed. Very impressive, and you can see its high beat there. Now we do the sapphire test to make sure we actually have real sapphire sitting in here. There we go. We've got the beeps. It's real sapphire crystal. So now let's talk about the goods and the bads. Should be fairly easy, I really think. For $549 US, you get a quality watch which looks fantastic, and it's an original design from someone who really cares about what they're making. It's got all the cues from the whale that makes sense. I'm going to put a link in the comments so that you can understand why it makes sense. The size just doesn't feel like a 42mm. It wears more like a 40mm, and it's very, very comfortable. So I like it. It's fantastically legible, which I think I said it before. That's how I see the mark of a great watch. The strap, nice sailcloth one that comes with it, and there's a really good white rubber one as well that I actually took up as an option. What's bad? Well, to be honest, not too much. The crowns, I must say, kind of made me second guess myself when I was looking at the product. They look awkward on the photographs, but in reality, don't worry. They don't get in the way in the wrist. In fact, you don't really notice them. They kind of make the design stand out. The only real criticism, I guess, would be some of the surfaces could be a little bit smoother, but again, nothing that has caused me pain or really annoyed me in any significant way. So not really much to complain about here. A decent watch. There's a limited batch of these available, so grab them while you can. In terms of competition, are there any other competition? Not that I can think of, just the other two colourways, black and blue. So if you have seen something that is a bit like it, let me know. I'd be intrigued to find out. And so to our summary and magpie rating, because we're going to do magpie ratings, not star ratings, because it's the watch for magpie. So today I'm going to award this watch 5 magpies. Yes, 5. Well done, Duzu. Keep up with the great designs and check out their other products they've done before. Well, that's it from me on the Duzu D3. Do let me know what you think in the comments, and please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you found it useful. I'd really appreciate it. I'll put all the links I can think of in the comments below. So now I'll sign off with a magpie mantra. Only buy a watch that you love and you can afford, so there's no regrets and you can enjoy it. Until the next time, take care out there.